Hello, my name is Marina Mayer, Editor-in-Chief of Food Logistics and Supply and Demand Chain Executive.
I'm Brielle Jekyll. I'm the associate editor.
And I'm McKenna Morales, and I am the assistant editor.
And today we're talking about sustainability in the cold food chain in relation to Food Logistics Top Green Providers Award and what companies in this space are doing to improve their own sustainable footprint. Our Top Green Providers Award recognizes companies whose products, services, or exemplary leadership enhances sustainability within the cold food and beverage industry. And a big thank you to our sponsors. You'll see their logos scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout our conversation. You can also learn more about all of our 2021 Top Green Providers winners by visiting foodlogistics.com. One of the things I personally noticed with this award is that sustainability still matters, despite a pandemic, despite other supply chain disruptions. And if you would have told me at the beginning of COVID that companies would have moved sustainability to the front burner, I would have laughed because I really didn't think that was possible. But they did. They proved me wrong, and I'm so blessed that they did. Companies have instilled policies, initiatives, and framework, both upstream and down, to ensure that they're operating in the most sustainable manner, whether that be with packaging, technologies, transportation, and more. Some of these winners turn to warehouse management systems and other technologies to further protect their people, product, and plant. But it's not just for themselves. Today's consumers are using their purchasing power toward companies who enforce the same sustainability measures that they do. In fact, a recent Spin survey says sustainability has become a purchase driver for shoppers, whether that be with the sustainable packaging or sourcing recycled materials. Companies are taking note and they're making adjustments accordingly. To piggyback on that, environmental, social, and corporate governance, or ESG, has become top of mind for many of our Top Green Providers winners. And this includes water management, waste management, and renewable energy. Some other common themes we saw among the winners were reduction in truck miles, using alternative fuel, and adjusting emissions levels. When the e-commerce boom hit and grocery retailers began delivering food items to consumers' doorsteps, they inadvertently created a sustainable challenge for themselves. The more truck stops, the more miles used, the more fuel used, and so on. So, Brielle, I'm going to defer to you at this time because you write the 3PL cold chain articles for Food Logistics, and actually you'll be covering Last Mile in Food Logistics June issue, which is also the same issue as our Top Green Providers Award winners. So when it comes to Last Mile and reducing miles, I have to ask you, what are some of the technologies and trends that you're seeing in the 3PL space?
I think in the supply chain as a whole, I'm going to dive into last mile in a second, but I think it's really important to note that as an industry, in order to be more sustainable, we do need to move more towards reshoring. That's definitely a trend that some experts are looking at because the supply chain is so stretched out and so global right now. All of that greenhouse gases is coming from transporting all these goods so far away. So I think reshoring is a huge part of going sustainable in the supply chain. And to get more towards the last mile, a part of that is micro fulfillment centers closer to the consumer. So a lot of retailers and 3PLs and distributors are looking at where is my main consumer base? Where can I get closer to optimized routes? I know a lot of people are looking at warehouses that are it's not that they need to be directly close to the consumer, but close to a major route so that all of these different distributors and 3PLs can travel, in a fast way to get to all these very important areas. Another important thing is looking at different forms of energy in terms of transportation. Obviously, we think of electricity as, the number one sustainable source when it comes to vehicles, but we're also looking at other things like natural gas and hydrogen, and a lot of innovative ways and new technological ways to produce energy. Waste management is huge in all forms of the supply chain, even with 3PLs. You just want to try and figure out how to reduce, even the case packaging and, all these materials that you use to transport goods. You want to slow that down. You want to streamline that so you're you're producing less that is going to the landfills. Another thing is route optimization. Obviously, we want this for the bottom line in addition to helping greenhouse gases and sustainability, because it really helps you save money. I mean, it's less time for the driver, it's less gas that you're having to pay for. So a lot of these TMS solutions are integrating with route optimization, so you can find the best path for your driver to get to the destination as fast and as cost effective as possible.
So another common theme that we saw was certifications. Whether it's becoming part of a SmartWay program or companies rehabbing their office space so that they can become LEED certified. Mackenna, I'm going to defer things to you at this point. What is your take on these sustainability-focused certifications?
So we talk about it often. Sustainability is becoming more important to businesses and consumers alike. And we said it dozens of times in many past videos that consumers are more loyal to companies whose morals align with their own. And one way to quickly identify if a company is prioritizing sustainability is if they have any certifications under their belt. And so according to Resource Management Associates, if a company wants to obtain a sustainability certification, they have to meet certain accepted standards and criteria that is often robust and impartial. Certifications can help indicate that their products or their overall supply chains are socially responsible, have minimal environmental impact, and are financially beneficial for all those involved. And the standards and criteria can vary by organization or trade groups in order to compare products across regions in an equal manner, but there are still several sustainability certifications out there that cover a wide range of industries. Like there's some for lumber, and of course there's some for retail and the supply chain. But the top three that I've noticed in this particular award was the LEED certification. And LEED is issued by U.S. Green Buildings Council and has 9 different certification programs, including ones for commercial, retail, new construction, and more. And according to Sharp Launch, each program has a points-based rating system, and you can get points for each green building feature. And your point total determines whether you're LEED certified, LEED Silver, LEED Gold, or LEED Platinum, which is the highest level. But then Energy Star is also another certification. It's actually probably the one that most people are familiar with because it's on a lot of appliances and the appliances that are in our own homes as well. But it's a green building certification that's offered through the Department of Energy and the Environmental Protection Agency. And to qualify, your building needs to be at least 15% more energy efficient than traditional properties. But these certifications only last for a year, so you have to get recertified every single year. And then another popular one that I saw was Green Guard. And this certification has criteria around air quality and focuses on low emission building materials, mold prevention, and moisture protection. The application process requires various planning meetings, reviews, test groups, and compliance testing in order to get that final certification. And it can take up to 6 months. So it's a long process, but I think it is worth it. And a lot more bigger companies are starting to get certified in sustainability practices. And once the bigger companies start to do that, then smaller companies will take notice and they will follow through as well.
I agree. And speaking of the U.S. Green Building Council, they are providing a column for us also in the June issue to talk about, to some of Mackenna's points that she brought up about the sustainability LEED program and how you have to renew your certifications, et cetera. So it's pretty cool. So make sure you check out our June issue. Congratulations to all of our top green providers. Thank you to all of our sponsors. You'll see their logos scrolling at the bottom. And to read more, go to foodlogistics.com. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations to our 2021 Top Green Providers Award winners. Thank you.